Can't get my audio working today.
For news that smacks you in the face, kicks you in your ass, and makes you want to run down your street with your hair on fire trying to get people's attention, anytime he says, "Holy shit!" you're gonna know about it. Who are we talking about? Veteran tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, legal guru of the hocus pocus, defender of the weak, and the guy who's not gonna back down from any bully. Like a good shepherd, this man has no fear of telling anyone, "Stop being so stupid." From Camp 17 on a beautiful desert prairie in off-grid Colorado, just 14 miles outside of Mount Blanca Peak, project coordinator of the fire department for the Constitution, Patriot Camp, your host with the most liberty on the planet, Rich Edwards!
Yeah, that's right. That's me, the amateur TV star here, trying to get his audio working in the beginning of the show. Welcome back to Patriot Camp News. This is Tuesday, August 20th. It is about 12:03 p.m. Mountain Time. Good to see everybody out there. Have you seen me? It's good to be seen. I'm going to be offline for a little bit here. Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be making some money to upgrade the internet. Going to be having some possible HD streams. Those of you that are used to that HD quality, I've been off-grid here, not able to do HD because of my off-gridness. But that's going to be upgraded. It's going to be almost like we're not off-grid anymore. You have the potential to affect every individual you meet in your life. It is your responsibility to correct someone else if they are working with the wrong information. Why? If you fail to do so, decide not to try, don't want to put yourself out there, understand that your missed opportunity now results in hundreds or thousands of people that person meets are going to be working with lies or poorly sourced information throughout the course of their lifetimes. And you had a chance to change that. In some cases, it's purely planted lies, not just the wrong information. The truth will set us free. Why? Because there will be very little conflict if we are all working with the same sets of facts and truths in all different types of situations. I believe there's one truth in every situation. We can agree to keep looking for it, no matter how heated the debate gets. Granted, we're both still genuinely looking and not just trying to fight. Or we can agree to stop talking about this particular topic for a while because we're in danger of not being able to get along. If two people continue an intelligent discussion, my theory is there will eventually be one truth both can agree on. That takes objective honesty, though. One of us is wrong and one of us is right. The quickest way to end any kind of conflict is to objectively figure out the answer. Consumerism, however, and the inflated egos it's caused, has made that nearly impossible. Interdependence. The key to our survival is interdependence. In order to achieve what we're going to have to get along. In order to achieve that, we're going to have to get along. In order to have interdependence, there needs to be a chain of command. There needs to be interdependent parties who choose to be part of a team. Independent parties who choose to be part of a team. We're all interdependent now. The only difference between right now and what we're trying to do here with the Patriot Camp Network is to cut out the banksters. The middleman to our prosperity and abundance. That's what they do. They take out all the prosperity and the abundance, and they give us the labor. The only way to do that is to stop pushing their so-called money around. If they can just print it up out of thin air and with very little effort and at nearly zero cost, why do we have to slave for it? Is that how an equitable to all preferred mass organizational system should work in America? Or our current working example, the monetary system? That's how it works, okay? You have these banksters with the fractional reserve system. They can just get you to sign something, and they literally create money out of thin air by getting you to sign something. What's your price? How much do I have to pay you to get you to do something? Do you care what it is so long as I'm unquestionably willing to pay the price? Assault? Theft? Knowingly baseless justification, maybe? Like Russia collusion? Embezzlement of millions of dollars worth of funds? What about murder? What's your price if I need someone taken care of? Okay, I'm going to notify you ahead of time. Here comes a curveball. How do you pay the price in a system not based on money, but on honor? How do you pay my price if I'm honorable? Now, what is your price to do some of those certain things? Think about that in your head. And no, I'm not contracting, trying to do some contract killing or anything like that. The point is that system there's too many people. I would say the overwhelming majority, if not almost all of them, are willing to do anything as long as you just increase that number. And then, yes, okay, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And then if you have these people over here that imaginary, they just create it up out of thin air, man. The banksters, they create this stuff up out of thin air, and then they pull all the levers in our society. They turn all the gears. We just are the gears. And we maybe turn the gears. Or no, do they turn the gears? Or do they create the gears? I don't know. But they do. They create the gears. And then we turn the gears. Because they make all of the decisions because they pay all the paychecks. So the only way for us to break free of the bankster system is to be able to stop doing things for a monetary reason. Or not do things for a monetary reason. Let's see. Is there anybody out there? Just not if you can hear me. 5x5. Looking for a 5x5 in the chat if anybody's listening. It looks like we are streaming. I've got no drop frames live for 8 minutes and 32 seconds. I guess we just got nobody listening right now. Okay, so let's get into the news. There is obviously a whole lot of panic in DC going on. And the title of the show, though, however, is left-right. There's a new left-right paradigm that you didn't notice. And I'm seeing it. I don't know if you're seeing it. Okay? But it seems like they're just rearranging the sheeple with the whole 98% truth principle, if you know what I'm talking about. Where they'll deliver 98% truth to you and then just not let you know the other 2% that's really, really bad that they might even be behind, they might be part of. They might be manipulating you with all this news in order to create something. Maybe there's some huge, huge sacrifice going on where they're going to sacrifice a whole bunch of Democrats or something, maybe a whole bunch of us. And I'm not saying I'm a Republican. But I'm saying the independent-minded people out there. And shout out to Kristen. I might have a co-host in a couple of weeks here. We've been having some interesting chats in the Discord there. If you want to join it, it's We Are the News Now, hashtag below. Join our newsroom. That's the Discord link. So go ahead and check it out. There's no new news drops from QAnon, and I say news drops because it's not a conspiracy. QAnon is not a conspiracy. He just goes to this 8chan website and drops news links, and then there's just a bunch of people that happen to be very interested in the news links that he drops. Okay, and then the mainstream media news doesn't like it that he's supplying news. Okay, it's very simple. So here's your choice, okay, in 2020. All right, I want you to be very, I want you to study your options. Make sure that you do your research, your due diligence, and understand what your choices are. Okay, now the choice that I'm trying to create and offer to you is the Patriot camp system, because the politician is obsolete. They do not uphold the Constitution. Millions are wasted every year on TV ads to get politicians elected so that they can get rich, while free American patriots rot in prison because they stuck their necks out to defend our rights. When less than $10,000 can start a camp which sustains 30 patriots or more living free, why would you spend your Liberty dollar on anything other than setting up your own local patriot camp? Okay? Now, if you don't understand how we, the people, can simply enforce the Constitution ourselves, check out First Amendment auditors. There's hundreds of them out there doing their jobs. Okay? Doing the only ones doing the job of enforcing the Constitution. Okay? I'm also trying to do the job of enforcing the Constitution by, like 3 years ago, all this crap went down. I didn't take any pleas, even though they basically, all my stuff was under threat. Eventually it all got stolen. I kept saying, take me back to my cell. I got a right. I got free speech. I got this. I got that. I'm not giving it up. But too many people just give up their rights, and that's a problem. And they go one and out. And I was talking about this with somebody the other day. A lot of people in this just us system, this leeching system, because it's not a legal system. This is not a legal system that we're dealing with. Okay? You go in there and you go one and out. If you go one and out, now what I mean by that is that you go in there, one hearing, they threaten you, and then you take the plea bargain. Okay? I went 30 hearings. If you want to find out how I did that, feel free to contact me sometime. But I took them 30 hearings. It went from one charge up to like 12. Okay? I was facing, like, in the beginning, like, nothing. It was a fine, and then it was like this other thing was like not even any jail time because it was like a Facebook post, and then added up to 12 charges. It was 12 years in prison, and the day before trial, plea bargained it down to one charge. Imagine if everybody did that. You took them 30 hearings, spent so much. I mean, it can't see, because the one and out is a profit. That's a profit for people in this system. If they only have to have you in there for 15 minutes, you come on in here, you get your plea. That means you're going to do whatever. Maybe you got to do a little bit of probation time. You got to pay some fines. You got to pay some court costs. You got to pay all that. Do you see what I'm saying here? Patriots, if you want to call yourselves patriots and look yourselves in the mirror and feel good about yourselves because you keep saying yourselves you're a patriot, do not do a one and out. I'm not telling you that you can't ever take the plea. What I'm saying is, don't be easy, man. Don't roll over easy for these people. So the illusion is that there's a left and a right. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you right here, right now. That I don't care, man, about left or right. All I care about is that I can exercise my rights, and then you can exercise your rights, even if I don't like what you're doing. because I want to exercise my rights. It's not about me supporting what you're doing. It's about me doing stuff that you don't support. That's why I want to have rights. That's why rights are important. So what we got next coming up here is, now I could have said Armageddon in my title, but it's not. It's really, NASA and the European Space Agency team up to deflect killer double asteroid from colliding with Earth. Crazy stuff. But it's not really that bad, okay? NASA and the European Space Agency, ESA, but I didn't go with the clickbait title is what I was saying. I didn't go through Armageddon, it's coming, we're all gonna die. It's as big as the Statue of Liberty is what's coming at us, okay? Spoiler alert. The space agency's upcoming missions will involve the visiting and deflecting the massive Didymos asteroid system and its gigantic moon. Didymos is classified as potentially, I'm not going to say that like 4 more times, but anyway, this is an article that's basically about the I don't think this is what they were talking about a couple weeks ago, that we might like all be under threat. It's not an Earth killer, all right, and there's no comments on this. International Business Times, and it's posted 8/19 of 19. I thought you guys might find that interesting, so I figured I would toss it in there. And let me see if I got the chat right here. And boom, there it goes. So open up the chat if you want, and you can click on that link if you are watching this afterwards. And if you are watching this afterwards, please share out this broadcast, because it's definitely not going to be recommended by YouTube. All right, so we have a fake news alert, folks. We've got a fake news alert here, and the reason why I'm posting that up is because we've got activist post here, which is talking about, are Palm Beach and Trump's estate exempt? And Trump's estate exempt from legislation forcing 5G small cell tower installation anywhere else. Okay, now activist post is getting this from which article? It was an article, and I pulled it out. It was this article is where that was coming from. Okay, and this is the source. There's the source right there. Okay, so this article right here, according to May 3rd, 2017, okay, which is what our headline here is all about, okay, lighten up Trump, that you have Palm Beach Daily News. So this is the source of the article, and then if you do a search for Trump, ready, I'm going to do a find for Trump, T-R-U-M-P on this page, and there literally is one of one. I don't know where the one is. I don't see another. Yeah, I literally don't see any references to that on this page. So now it says town manager Tom Bradford said Tuesday, and this is May 3rd of 2017, so it's a 2-year-old article. But I just wanted to mention that there's a rumor going around that Trump basically got Mar-a-Lago exempt from 5G, but it's actually the entire Palm Beach County, and there's no evidence that says that Trump had anything to do with it not going in there. All right, guys, so I wanted to slap that down. We don't want that fake news going around. People are already hurting in 5G in Geneva, Switzerland, and unfortunately now, because you've got that, it feels like there's an agenda there from activist posts. Now I have a hard time trusting this next post from them, but I did see this on the page, and I wanted to go ahead and check it out. And it says the telecom industry gave U.S. congressional testimony in February that they have no scientific evidence that exposure to 5G technology is safe. Plenty of research indicates that it isn't. See 1, 2, and 3. That's stunning. The telecom industry gave no This is huge, and they're putting this stuff in cell towers. Why aren't people outraged? You should be enraged that the money and crony capitalism is allowing these people to stick this stuff up, and there's rumors that this shit is going to fry our asses. Okay, now I'm not trying to be like tinfoil hat, putting my conspiracy, tinfoil hat on here, but look, man. No scientific evidence that exposure to 5G technology is safe. They haven't actually done any testing on it, man. Or maybe they have and they're just not really happy with the results, so they're not really looking to release those results. So now, here we go. We got, just at the beginning of Lou Dobbs' program here, I wanted to show you this. You got Trump talking about Hong Kong and China and trade deals.
I think it would be very hard to deal if they do.
Please.
Violence. I mean, if it's another Tiananmen Square.
Oh, come on, man. Why are you doing that to me?
I think it's a very hard thing to do if there's violence. If I wanted to make a bad deal and settle on China, the market would go up, but it wouldn't be the right thing to do. I'm just not ready to make a deal yet. China would like to make a deal. I'm not ready.
Okay, so I appreciate that from Trump. I think that's the right thing to do. You want to stand up for freedom. And if he's basically holding the trade deal. We're holding all the cards. There's people that are saying that there's no, that we're in some sort of trouble with this trade deal, man. But China's economy is tanking, and we're barely hiccuping with some of this bad news that's going on. So I'm just really stunned that anyone thinks that we're in any danger in this trade war. And these are communists, man. It's a communist country. We don't want to live in if you don't want to live in a communist country, and you don't want to, literally, if you don't want to start having to friggin' practice Chinese, then support Trump's China policy, at least. POTUS, right? Now, here's something that I found very interesting. 8:55. I think we'll go to roughly about, where is it? Yeah, well, we were talking, what this woman was discussing here about Hong Kong, real good. I haven't gotten a lot of in-depth, like, man on the street videos from Hong Kong yet, and now it looks like we're getting some. So here you go. Ready?
An extradition bill which would allow the government to send people from Hong Kong to mainland China for trial. And of course, although we are not a democracy in Hong Kong, but we have the rule of law, independence of the judiciary. But in mainland China, it's complete lawlessness.
Come on. Yep. I will be doing an internet upgrade, as I explained.
So people are very frightened and could not understand why the
very
government
shortly.
of Carrie Lam would want to do a stupid thing like that.
Man, you're killing me, YouTube.
Particularly ever since 1997, when Britain handed Hong Kong back to China, they have been negotiating with the mainland for a deal and could not get anywhere. So you know how difficult it is. And suddenly, out of the blue, because of a Taiwan homicide case, Carrie Lam came out to make the proposal. So the whole town just blew up. And then in the end, because so many people marched and many foreign governments, including the Canadian government and others, spoke out. So she came out and say, okay, we stopped the bill. The bill is dead. And people say, what do you mean? Why don't you just use a proper language saying the bill has been completely withdrawn? And she...
Okay, so that's what the main issue is over. There's a lot of fake news surrounding what is the cause of the protests in Hong Kong, guys. So I wanted you to understand that it's because they never withdrew the bill. Okay, they're just basically, it's like tabled, meaning they can just bring it up again as soon as people just calm down. And that's obviously not something that you want to happen. That's one of the reasons why back in 2015, I was in the county here. They were talking about all these other people that were opposing the county were talking about, we want to fight this code, this or that code. And I'm thinking about, man, well, you know, they're just going to put that code back in next year. I want to talk about rights. You know, these people, they're not allowed to come on property without a warrant. You know, let's talk about that kind of stuff, right? So shout out to vote members, any vote members out there. If you know, I'm trying to get this Patriot Camp thing going back up again. I basically got in the negative territory over here, so if you can come over here and vote up some of this stuff on the vote-co/Patriot Camp site, and I'll drop that in the restream for you. And there we go. All right, and I'm really hoping that I'm live. It looks like I'm live. It says I'm live. I don't see anybody, and no 5x5s. Very interesting. It's like a ghost town here. And we had a very, very huge response on the last video. I wonder if that might be a reason, because I mean, that video might be pushing 200 views in 2 days, which is huge, unheard of in the last like 6 or 8 months from this channel, even though we've like quadrupled our subscribers. So anyway, this is the vote Patriot Camp vote channel here. Please come check it out, bump it around and help me out so we can do some more posting, because I'd like to actually start posting the Patriot Camp news over here on vote as well. All right, now this is a really interesting video from High Impact Blogs. I post a lot of this guy's stuff. He's got just awesome stuff. And the cool thing is the irony about one cop drawing on another cop, and one cop's like, "Oh, upset. How could you pull a gun on me?" and all this. It's just amazing. You'll see what I'm saying, right?
He said, "You're going to have to take your gun and duty belt off." And I said, "Well, I can't do that." I said, "Do you have a gun lock?"
Here we go, man. Everyone is gonna buffer now. Wow.
Locker where I can lock it in. I'd be willing to do that. And
so I'll just let this play for just a second here and set it up for you. Now, what this guy does is he's going in here, he's responding to a call. This cop right here, this sheriff, is going into an IRS office, and he's just basically got a question about his tax forms. And now these people are going to call on him and not even say that he's a cop. They're saying that he's a guy with a gun. And this guy afterwards is like really pissed off about that. It's like, it's pretty funny actually.
And he said no, and I noticed that he was getting a little angry.
At that point, the sheriff deputy says he was asked to leave. In the meantime, an IRS employee threatened to call 911.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, we got a taxpayer at the IRS office at 433 North Summit that has a gun and he won't leave the premises.
You gotta love that. Relegating the cop to a mere taxpayer, completely stripping him of his imagined authority with that nondescript 911 call.
Eklund then tells Gaston to...
Now, I actually got a question here, because why is that guy turning his back on this guy who has a gun pointed at him? Why would you turn your back on somebody like that? And then that's dangerous just for you yourself, because you have a gun too, right? And then you're turning your back on him. Now he can't see your hands. What kind of training is that? It seems like you're asking to be shot right there.
To take his hand off of his gun. In a police report, the deputy said only his forearm was resting against the gun because of his casual stance. Feeling uncomfortable, Gaston says he tried to leave, at which point the security guard tries to detain him.
He came around that corner with the gun out.
That's stunning to me.
You better stop.
I'm just going to
So
turn
the
my
guy
back and
stopped
walk
he
out the
goes
door.
into that position, which is this one.
That's
right
nuts.
here. I'll never forget that position. And as I'm looking at him, I just need to get to the door.
Yeah, you're scared.
and
You're running
foremost,
scared, man.
Again, the civilians
You panic,
are very
dude.
scared.
It was the first time the deputy of 34 years had ever had a gun pointed at him. The deputy believes the security guard's actions were racially motivated.
The fact that he called 911.
And he's trying to detain him. And that's, I gotta say, this is just a guy doing his job. It really is. Actually, he's not supposed to have any firearms in the building. I watched the whole video. It doesn't matter who you are. You're not allowed, and it's a federal building. And this guy's, from the local county sheriff, and it's owned by the sheriff actually doesn't have jurisdiction over a federal building. That's the only thing he doesn't have jurisdiction over. Okay, because that's actually been sold to the federal government for certain reasons, okay, and it's their property. So, it's interesting how this cop is then afterwards suing. Then he's going to sue because of the treatment that he probably treats other people like that every single day. And it's just disgusting, man. Disgusting. Yeah, I mean, how many people did these people just whip their gun out and point them at anybody with like no problems anytime? Anyway, it's just not a big deal. Not a big deal, unless you're on the other end of that gun and it's a complete stranger with his finger on the trigger and just acting all crazy, man. And you think that, because he's got a uniform on, he thinks he's got the right to kill you. That's some scary stuff, man. And that's why a lot of people don't stand up for their rights, right? So we got media. I thought this was very interesting. This is an open letter to Chris Wallace and Shepard Smith. Quit Tucker Carlson's Fox News now. Now, Disney owns Fox, so this is BS, man. This is a BS fight right here, in my opinion. They want you to have the left and right fight some more, but there is definitely a new left-right paradigm, and it's like you got the sheeple versus the people that are starting to waken up to all this stuff right now, right? That's the left-right paradigm. And then you've got folks that are saying, hey, look, we really need to think about reining in this government in the middle. That's where I've always been, and probably where you've always been. A lot of folks that watch my channel, right? And then, so now, here you go. You've got this guy, Trump trashes Fox News to reporters, makes vague 2020 debate threat. I'm the one that calls the shots, right? And I mean, Fox is just so liberal
having to
now.
do with the
It's
debates
just
and
ridiculous.
other things. And I think Fox is making a big mistake because, I'm the one that calls the shots on the really big debates. I guess we're probably planning on 3 of them. And I'm not happy with Fox. I'm certainly happy. I think Sean Hannity and Lou Dobbs, and I think Tucker Carlson and Laura and Jesse Waters and Janine. We have a lot of great people. Even Greg Gutfeld, he wasn't good to me 2 years ago. Now he sees all I've done. He said, would you rather have a great president or a nice guy? I don't know. I think I'm a nice guy. But nobody's done in 2.5 years what I've done. And I say that a lot, and very few people can challenge it. The first 2.5 years, nobody's done what I've done in terms of tax cuts, regulation cuts, the military, the vets, the choice, so many different things. Nobody's done that.
Okay, not as much of a tear as they want to say it was a tear, but anyway. So the reason why I wanted to bring up this is because it's just letting you know that there's more consolidation happening. You got Disney buying up Fox, then you got CBS and Viacom agreeing to this $30 billion media merger. So the top 6 became the top 5, and it's really getting congested up there, and you're not getting a whole lot of information. And I don't know about you, man, but I'm starving for information. So if you are not on Telegram yet, okay, I want you to go ahead and get on Telegram, which I quit out of, so that's why I can't go back over to there. But the Telegram link is down there in the description on the YouTube channel, so go on over there and get yourself a Telegram account. and start using it. But there you go. Science, and that was August 13th of 2019. They just agreed to a 30 billion media merger. Yeah, how is it possible that that's going to be going through? I thought we were supposed to be breaking these things up now. And we're actually looking at like another merger. This is ridiculous. Expert destroys climate change hoax in 3 minutes. Here we go.
Medieval warm period was from 900
fair use.
to
Fair
1300
use.
AD. Then you had the Roman
fair
warming
use claim
period around 0 AD. Peer-reviewed studies, geologic records, and all the studies have shown that we have actually cooled since the Roman warming period and likely since the medieval warming period to current. In other words, we were up here warm in the Roman warming period, then we cooled a little bit, then we warmed in the medieval warm period, then we went to a little ice age, and now we're back up. Not quite where we were in the medieval warm period. The first United Nations climate report, 1990, showed a massive medieval warm period, and then it goes down, and we still weren't at that same temperature. That was untenable. So what happened? We actually had the scientists testify in the United States Senate. He got a call from a colleague who said, we have to get rid of the medieval warm period. These were UN-affiliated academic scientists. Guess what? By year 2000, they got rid of the medieval warm period. They erased it. They went back and they said, you know, we've looked at everything and it no longer existed. They showed a flat line and then the 20th century, a big hockey stick. That's what they did. And then I have a whole chapter devoted into my book on the con that was erasing the past. But they've done it before. Skeptics, climate skeptics made hay out of the almost 20-year pause in global warming. What does the federal government do? NOAA scientists, tired of this. They're sick of it. They have satellite data. The temperature's not going up. They're frustrated. They're angry. It's ruining. Right before the UN Paris Agreement in November 2015, NOAA, federal agency, scientist comes out. They called it the Pause Buster Study. They said, you know what? We've redone the numbers. We've looked at the past. We did it wrong. And here's the new data. There was no global warming pause. My favorite quote to sum this up, the whole climate debate, is there are literally hundreds of factors that influence the climate. Carbon dioxide is not the control knob. The idea that humans can tweak one variable among hundreds of factors, from tilt of the Earth's axis to water vapor to methane to clouds to volcanoes to ocean cycles, etc. One selected factor, the human contribution to CO2, which is microscopic of the whole CO2, natural CO2, and think we can come out and control the climate with that. The scientists called it scientific nonsense. And that's the bottom line. If we faced a climate catastrophe, you would not want to centrally plan. You would not want to empower the United Nations. You would not want to stifle technology. You would not want government picking winners and losers in energy technologies. You would want to unleash the free market system. The day someone could walk into Walmart and buy, alternative energy, if you can go in and buy not a windmill, but a solar panel, put it on your roof, get off the grid, that's the day you don't have to worry about any fossil fuel debate or anything going on. But you'd want, people to be wealthier.
How come there's not solar panels available in Walmart right now?
And none of that is what they're proposing. The Green New Deal is all about masterminding everything in central planning. And that's what's frightening, is that if we actually faced it, their solutions would be the exact wrong way to go. Thank God we don't face it. But if we did, not only would they have no impact on the climate, but it would take us down
they'd be selling anti-gravity vehicles.
Road of crushing development, seniors, poor people, fixed income, paying much more percentage of their income for energy to do absolutely nothing for the climate.
And anti-gravity is a real technology that we have right now that we could be driving around on, and it uses like almost very little energy and wouldn't need any gasoline. You wouldn't have to stop at a gas pump. You would be able to like travel for thousands of miles at a time. And never having, imagine being able to, that's freedom. Imagine being able to travel for hundreds or thousands of miles and never stopping at a gas pump, and all of the expenses that come along with that. So now here's another clip about rocket stoves, right? This I thought was a nice simple way to show you the technology of how a rocket stove works, and horizontal burning. Okay, so it's really, really cool. So let me back this up to right about here. And boom. rocket rumble sound. Cool. Alright, now, he does have a very tall horizontal pipe, obviously. I mean, vertical pipe. But now here's his horizontal pipe. And what is that on the front there? Is that like a piece of plexiglass, or... I gotta wonder. Fair use, fair use. And let me go ahead and throw this in the chat for you. And the channel is SKIEN. He's got 208 subscribers. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to it. But this is cool. Listen to this. All you're doing is just putting some wood in the pipe and lighting it on fire, and then you have the pipes, you know, situated a certain way. That's all this is. So what I'll be doing underneath the rocket, underneath the area over here, you'll see the update. I've dug halfway underneath the RV already on this side, and I'll be digging on the other side, and then we're gonna have a horizontal that'll have a couple of steps up. And it's going to be like that. It's just going to be rocket mass, and it'll heat up every single thing underneath there, and heat up this entire community center and about 1,000 feet of greenhouse space very, very cheaply, because that's the obvious reason why you would go through all this work to do all this, right? Almost no fuel to do very little with this. Amazing stuff. So that's the power of a horizontal tube. And then you're going to have that fire heating all of that inside of that horizontal tube, man. Think about the temperature. It's off the hook. And you can literally see the burning going down here. And he's got holes drilled in the side. That's interesting. Very interesting. So there you go. Just in, AG Barr fires prison chief following notorious prisoner Jeffrey Epstein's death at MCC. That's out of the Gateway Pundit. And let's see, there's my BitChute channel if you want to subscribe to it. That link is in the description. I did want to check out, and I have been checking out, the silver prices and the gold prices just about every single day, and boom, there you go. You got 1508 on gold, and silver is 1726. They're going to go up, and they're probably just going to keep on going. They barely got dented in this last massive market crash that we just had, where the Dow lost somewhere around 1,000 points in a few days, and gold and silver just a slight hiccup, and they're going to keep on going. So I would suggest you go out, and personally, the best bet is junk silver. Get yourself some 90% junk silver at any coin dealer, and get yourself as close to spot price as possible. Okay, and spot price right now is $17.26, so that's how you know that. All right, now I'm not endorsing this guy right here. I think he's a shill, but anyway, Jack Posobiec says, massive. Stephen Halper was spying on Trump even after he became president. Did Rosenstein authorize? And then here's the document. It says, this is from Stephen Halper to Carter Page. I guess it was an email. And it says, Dear Carter, thought I'd write as the summer wears on to ask how you are and what your plans are at this point. It seems attention has shifted a bit from the collusion investigation to the Contra attempts within the White House and how or if Mr. Scaramucci will be accommodated there. Now, why is Stephen Halper asking whether or not Mr. Scaramucci is going to be accommodated in the White House? Very interesting. Next, we have Jeffrey Epstein. Come on now, work with me here. Sign his will, 2 days. And also, I just heard, I don't have the article up, but he created a trust a couple of days before. Why are you giving me a problem right now? Anyway, we're having a slight problem there. But Epstein signed his will 2 days before supposedly committing suicide. That's really interesting stuff, obviously. Exit page. Might as well just exit that page. Aw, snap. Okay, so here's something. Companies race to find eternal life. That's post August 19th, 2019. Very recent news. You got these 3 companies here working on, I guess, do you want to live forever, right? Now, I mean, I could tell you possibly how to live forever. I think it's just to eat right, stay away from like all the 5G stuff, and really the Wi-Fi. Should probably just get everything wired in your house, stay away from fluoride and amalgam in your teeth and all that, a lot of stuff in the grocery store we probably shouldn't be eating, right? On Monday, Juvenescence, the UK startup which is developing a range of therapies and technologies to increase human longevity, closed a $100 million funding which values the biotech at $500 million. This brings the total that Juvenescence has raised in 18 months to $165 million. Okay. Anyway, Therapeutics, a California-based tech company which is developing stem cells to regenerate tissues that deteriorate in old age. All right. And then you got this one. It says, let's see. David Sinclair and Tristan Edwards invest in the 8 pathways of age-related decline, including dysfunction in mitochondria, the energy generating units in cells, and that's Juvenescence. Across the Atlantic, Life Biosciences, the Boston-based company, was founded in 2016. All right, investors are closely watching Rejuvenate Bio, the startup co-founded by Harvard Medical School professor George Church, is testing 60 different age-reversing gene therapies. The company which carried out, I don't know about this gene therapy stuff, man. The company which carried out initial tests on beagles claims it can reverse aging in animals by adding new DNA instructions to their bodies. Playing God. We're playing God. Lots of hundreds of millions of dollars are being put into playing God. I thought this was interesting that Multinational Business Roundtable now claims social responsibility is actually more important than profit. I just thought the headline, I don't believe it at all, but there you go. And this is on the Conservative Treehouse, posted on the conservativetreehouse.com, and I thought that was pretty stunned by that. Suspected what Conservative Treehouse suspected this was going to happen. This was predictable if you followed the fracture between Main Street Trump and Wall Street multinationals. Remember, there are trillions at stake. This news today is part of the battle, and really, right? It's because lots of people are starting to wake up to it, and that's why now these multinationals are going to maybe talk about social responsibility, right? Because the customers are actually caring about that, and ultimately that's what's going to rule them. Oh, I thought this was really impressive here. Okay, you got this black guy right here. This is like on the boots on the ground segment. I don't have my little clip for it yet, but this would be boots on the ground. This guy is really doing something right here. I thought it was very, very impressive. And this is off of, what channel is it? It's Subverse News. And we'll go ahead and drop that link in the description. Drop that link, I'm sorry, in the chat so you guys can check it out if you want. All right, and here we go.
Let go of it. Let go of it. I'm just curious.
So this guy right here stole somebody else's MAGA hat, and this guy over here is basically he's trying to take it away from him. I think he's trying to take it away from him to give it back to the guy.
Trying to set wrong, you're trying to ask questions and gain knowledge. Why?
Bro, let it the fuck go.
I'm not fighting. I'm being very
serious.
serious.
I believe you. I believe like no one's fighting. I'm just trying to de-escalate the situation right now.
Wait, no. That's my wait. So you're mad because that's from you, but who took it from somebody else? Let go. That's entitlement. That's my body. That's what racism comes is from entitlement, my sir.
Yo, no, I bring you to listen to his words, bro. Take it
that's like honestly, no.
wise man. That's how we make progress, brother. That's how we move towards progress.
Let's just
Hey, yo.
I know, but I'll talk about this. But what I want to say is what are you getting at? This is what we fucking do. Because the same thing that you did to someone else is the same thing I'm doing to you. You see how you don't like it? This how not belong to you. The person who did this came at me with a knife. Came at you with a knife. See, now we're getting to other things. Thank you very much. They came at me with a knife, bro. Okay. Or like they came out with knives and hammers and mace. So we're at the bus.
At the bus.
I find that hard to believe that MAGA people were coming out with knives and mace.
No, look, it's not even that. It's just the fact of why, like we're on the same side. I'm not on no one's side. I'm on no one's side. But why?
Can I join?
Why would you sit down? Let's sit down on front. You want to sit down? Let me see, bro. Why? These people literally tried to kill us. They literally tried to kill us. Hatred gives. Yes, I might take a hat. They tried to kill us. Hatred gives more to hatred.
Dude, I saw the thing.
Could we possibly do something with the hat that we were able to agree on?
I'm not.
Maybe like throwing it into the river.
I'm bringing the subject. I'm bringing the subject. You're using the same tactics to battle hatred. That's not going to cause anything. That's not causing any change. No positivity throughout anything. That causes no change. That's fighting. That's giving the power of the higher ups, not of the people, not the right and left wing. This is material. This was made to cause hatred. This was made, and that's why I'm gonna burn it right in front of them. Okay, then that's it. You definitely burn it, but I'm like, just keep in mind, don't do things for hatred. Don't do things in the name of hatred. Change things for you. Why? Because that hat did not belong to you. It did not belong to me. You snatched that from somebody else, but when it came to me snatching, I had to give it back to someone else. You put up a guard.
Okay, I guess we're buffering again now. Thank you very much. Yeah, fair use on this video, by the way, for Subverse. Darn it. Anyway, that was very interesting. We can quit that one. This is a copyleft program, folks, okay? You can use my content. You can spread it everywhere. Obviously, if you're spreading something that I'm spreading and I'm not supposed to, you got to be careful about that. But my own original content, obviously, all that stuff can be spread willingly at your inclination. Please do so. Let's see. So now we've got Wikipedia acknowledges Chris Fredo Cuomo. Was this the Jimmy Dore show? I don't know. Yeah, that was pretty funny. The thing that he did on Jimmy I'm not going to actually play that, but I was watching it earlier. During trade war with China, Donald Trump meets with Apple CEO Tim Cook. That's on 8/17. I believe that's Friday, something like that. Okay, so President Trump, Apple CEO, took the Met Friday at Trump's New Jersey golf club amid tensions between the two sides over U.S.-China trade war. Apple currently has manufacturing facilities for many of its products in China. Having dinner tonight with Tim Cook of Apple. Okay, so he says in his tweet, and now China has really escaped most of the tariffs, and I think they might have gotten like one more break until December or something. They got a little bit of special attention, and their main facilities are in Shenzhen, China. And this is Foxconn is the facility that they make a lot of their Apple stuff in, and I thought you would find this interesting because you've got August 7th, 2013. This is when 2010, 18 employees were jumping out of the windows and committing suicide of the Foxconn. This is some crazy stuff. What goes on at this Foxconn place. The standards that these people are forced to work, the conditions they're forced to work in. It's just unbelievable. Foxconn is whatever we need to do to boycott or not do business with this company at all. It's sinful that this Apple company is enabling this company, Foxconn, to abuse the people the way that they're abusing them. I'm not going to read any more of that article here. So I do want to point out that the Obama administration vetoed a bill, okay, August 6th of 2013. It looked as though Samsung had finally won when U.S. International Trade Commission had banned the import of iPhone 4. There was a patent battle between Apple and Samsung. Okay, and Apple has broken a lot of rules, and they just get away with murder. Literally, probably in many cases, right? An old but still popular model. The ban was supposed to start August 4th, but the Obama administration on Saturday vetoed the move, leaving Apple free to continue. Now, if you got that kind of money, the kind of money that Apple has, what do you think is happening behind the scenes? Now we have China is on the AI map. And they are doing AI things this is some scary stuff. And man, I mean, AI is like nukes, man. It's like we should have never got into nukes, and we should have never got into AI. But now we're all into it, and now it's like a race to beat the other country. And in the race to beat this other country, to get to have the fastest AI, you're going to wind up killing humanity, right? You're going to exterminate humanity. The West should be seriously concerned. Whoever wins at AI will both dominate the global economy and field the most destructive conventional military force. Dangerous stuff. I'm telling you guys, the only solution, I think, to this problem, these government problems, is to eliminate government before we get exterminated by it. And that's what Patriot Camp is all about. If you want to know what Patriot Camp is all about, and it's by eliminating government, by employing those people that are in government right now too. Okay? It's not by eliminating the people in the government. It's by eliminating that structure which governs us and creating something new. That's all we really have to do, is create a better lifestyle for those people in government. And they'll be like, hey, yeah, we'll work 20 hours a month in your community. Sure, Vince, come on down. And I guess that's a good segue into, let's go on over to my Minds real quick. And I will show you the more information post. And then here's the copy left, royalty-free, fake news alert. Let me see if I got a bunch more views on there since the last time. Copy, 11 views. Copy left, royalty-free, fake news alert. Clip for your videos. There you go. Okay, so you can go ahead and download that if you want. And when I make more of them, I'm just going to go ahead and upload them for people. They're fun to make. I'm not going to charge nobody for them. Let's see. So let's go on over to here because I want to show you the more information post that you guys can send to people if they want some more information on Patriot Camp. And this also includes our current deal in here. Alright, so it says, hello there, thank you for your interest in our community. For a limited time, entry is $400, and you pay only $100 per month for 24 months. That's on my 20 acres here in Blanca, Colorado. After that, there are no more bills. That covers yourself and whoever will be living in your Earthship home with you. Alright, there is free Wi-Fi available. We're going to be upgrading the Wi-Fi very shortly, as I've been stating, and that's going to be awesome. And you will not even have to have any bills whatsoever. You can get yourself a Wi-Fi phone now. All of those work fine. I use one because it's actually more convenient than the regular one. That having just one phone that you have to, know where it is all the time. Now I've got the Wi-Fi phone. I can get it on any device. I can get it anywhere. If I lose a phone, I still got my number. If my phone, my internet goes out, I still I could still go out on a Wi-Fi and get my phone calls. So many different advantages to having a Wi-Fi phone now. Our current goals are to 1, finish off community center, get 3 Earthships closed in their connected greenhouse, because those are also going to have their own connected greenhouse that's going to add on to the 1,000 square foot of indoor greenhouse we will definitely finish by the winter here at the community center. The community center came, which I just said, full kitchen, shower, bathroom, laundry services, and a workshop for all different types of wood fabrication and construction. Upon completion of the community center, our members will have access to 2 different industries in order to make extra cash on the side if they choose, a nursery and a woodworking shop. Okay, we'd like to get like a plan book together and have, you make something cool that people want and they like to buy, then boom, we start, we put together a little plan for it, and we put it in the plan book. And then we just start having more and more of those plans, and people can go in there and flip through the plan book and say, yeah, I'm going to make some of these and go sell them. If you want to make some extra cash, and then you just split the cash 50% back to the community. Your commitment to the community is 20 hours per month, over 12 per member of your family. But if you wish to sell community assets for cash, just simply return 50% back to the community. This is a limited time offer, and these prices are only good until we have filled 4 party reservations for our community. This will give us the funds we need to make upgrades, finish the community center, having that resource available, and perhaps have homes ready to move into, albeit for a heftier convenience price, which would be as much as $500 per month or more, with an entry fee as much as $10,000. Do you think that if I had a full Earthship home and then you could live in it, okay, and then all you had to do is pay me $10,000 to move in, and then $500 per month for 23 months? That would be your price for 23 months, and then you would be paid in full, and literally all your food is growing. You have like animals and around here, so we have like virtually all, not only just self-sustaining, but we're actually producing massive surpluses of all the stuff that we already have. Do you think that people would pay $10,000 for that? I don't think. I think maybe they might. But how would you like to get that? That might be happening maybe 2-3 years from now for $400 now, right? So call us for a visit or let us know when you will be rolling in. And that number is 719-377-5985. Okay. And the YouTube channel, the main channel, is /Vincible World. Please go ahead over there and subscribe if you haven't already. This is just the Patriot Camp News channel. And we're live on here right now because we can't live stream on the YouTube channel, unfortunately. Okay, so we've got a study here that links fluoridated water during pregnancy to lower IQs in children. You've got 8/19/19 just came out on the Daily Beast, which is, fake news alert. But I wouldn't say that this one's, obviously they're not going to be doing fake news about fluoride. An influential medical journal published a study Monday that links fluoride consumption during pregnancy with lower childhood IQs, a finding that could undermine decades of public health messaging, fire up conspiracy theorists, and alarm mothers-to-be. Okay, it says about 3/4 of the United States drinks fluoridated tap water, I'm reading down here, which the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention declared one of the 10 greatest public health achievements of the 20th century, because it dramatically reduces tooth decay. Oh my God, man. I can't believe that we're still living with that lie today, man. Please, comment if you for or against fluoride. I'd like to get your comments on fluoride. Just let me know, or jump in the Discord. We Other News Now there in the description. Definitely, please, man, and talk to me about this. And I'm not going to read too much about this, but I did want you to know that there's another. I see, because I don't have to be taught about this. Okay, but there's another. I mean, here's just another study that's coming out telling you that fluoride's bad for you. Just don't drink fluoride. And literally, we still have 3/4 of the people in this country, the land of the supposedly free. I don't know how you can call yourself free if you're being forced to drink fluoride. I don't know how you can call yourself free if you don't have control over the drinking water that you drink. 2 members of far-right nationalist organization Proud Boys were convicted Monday of roughing up a group of rival leftists that confronted them on the Upper East Side last year. This is really kind of scary, man, because these guys are looking at possibly 10, 15 years for probably defending themselves, I'm guessing. And Antifa can do all kinds of stuff, and you rarely ever hear anything about any jail with Antifa. And then there you go, you got 2 Proud Boys here getting run up the river. And this is, who is it? Maxwell Hare and John Kinsman were found guilty of attempted gang assault, riot, and attempted assault for an October 12th brawl after less than 2 days of deliberations in Manhattan Supreme Court. It says members of Antifa who refused to cooperate with authorities were protesting Metropolitan Republican Club speaking event by Proud Boys founder and formerly, I'm just saying, like, they're the ones protesting, coming over to them, right? And so, but these guys are getting thrown in jail. And did anything happen to any of the Antifa people? I mean, it takes 2 to tango, right? Who fought? Did anybody fight these people? I guess that's it. Proud Boys have been deemed a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center, according to the Manhattan District Attorney. I wonder if the Proud Boys, I wonder if Antifa hate group, Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC hate group, Antifa. Whoops, Antifa. Is Antifa a hate group? Ah, darn it. Come on, spell, man. Spell right. Oh my God! SPLC is not a hate group. There's your headlines right there. Okay, Antifa is not a hate group, but the Proud Boys is. So there you go. SPLC, fake news, big time, man. About as fake as it gets. Now, what I thought interesting about this is I went over there to check Donald Trump's feed. Okay, and then look who the recommended people to follow are if you're over on Donald Trump's feed. Jeb Bush, okay, Bernie Sanders, all right, and Pope Francis. These are the 3 people that you should be following, other than, you know, if you like Donald Trump. I mean, these are like the most anti-Donald Trump people. The 3 very most, I'm almost like, wow, man, if you like count to 3, right? You know, obviously Hillary Clinton, Comey, and, you know, but wow. Unbelievable. I just thought that was funny. And nothing major interesting on Donald Trump's feed today. Talking about the Rashid Tlaib or whatever, crying or whatever. But anyway, so I think that's pretty much it. That's the end of my show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Oh yeah, here's this one last report on Trump cracking down on the illegals. Now you know how he raided the food processing plants over in Mississippi, and now I guess in Georgia you got a whole bunch of illegal aliens that didn't show up to work. So that's pretty awesome, right? Illegal immigration continues to be a major problem in this country. President Trump has worked to move. Okay, it says, where is it? Where's the real news here? It says, illegal workers fled a number of Georgia food processing plants this week after highly publicized raids. And I thought that this might happen when I saw those. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I thought this might happen. Highly publicized raids by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agency at 5 Mississippi plants. This month, ICE agency we already know that, conducted the raids in Mississippi. Those ICE raids spurred illegal workers in Hall County, Georgia, where numerous food processing plants are located, to flee their jobs in fear that they could be arrested for illegally working in the country. Thursday's walkout is evidence of the presence of undocumented workers in those plants, Gonzalez said. Without a doubt, there are undocumented workers in Georgia's agriculture industry. Okay, so that our literally our one of our biggest enemy, man, is the massive corporation that doesn't answer to anyone and can murder anybody, right? That's one of our biggest. Man, I gotta say the biggest enemies we have is the corporation that can do whatever it wants. And now, like, you know, that's what the problem is they can hire all these illegals. They get away with it. They pay them like probably half price, you know, 2 for 1. And you know, they probably work a little harder than Americans in some cases, I would say, right? Because, you know, they have to work harder. Unfortunate, man. So now, if you like my program, if you appreciate the program, and if you want to see Patriot camps happen, if you'd like to see the Constitution get enforced, if you'd like to make the politician obsolete, I would appreciate you becoming a constitutional enforcement facilitator. What that is somebody that pays $10 a month to Patriot Camp in order to get us into the black. All right. Now, after the internet upgrade, we're going to be $150 roughly is going to be our expenses. It's going to be about $50 for the internet and $100 for food. After I get a lot more food growing, okay, then we're probably going to be down to like $50 for food. Okay, and then hopefully down to get almost to nothing for food, right? But our expenses are extremely, extremely low. So this is the biggest bang for your Liberty buck, is to become a patron at you will be one of the heavy lifters. Okay, now I put $50,000 of my own money on the line in order to create a media company when Ron Paul was being censored. You know, I recently stuck my neck out when I still had felony warrants out because people were having people were having code enforcers trespassing on their property. You know, armed code enforcers telling them they got to leave tomorrow or pay $50 fines. Right? I stick my neck out for others. So I would really appreciate it if some folks can maybe stick their neck out just a tiny bit for me and maybe scrape out $10 a month and become a constitutional enforcement facilitator. You guys are going to be the heavy lifters. You're the ones that are going to create the fire department for the Constitution. And that's my question to you. Should the Constitution have a fire department, folks? Okay? Your house, when it burns down, that's a tragedy. That it sucks. That's a really bad thing that would happen. And then the next day, you're free to pick up the pieces and put your life back together. But if your rights are violated, okay, you have a leaching system you have to deal with. You have a prison system you have to deal with. You have so many different factors that are just insane. And the fact that our rights are supposed to be guaranteed, but they're really not, because there's no constitutional enforcement mechanism. And that's what Patriot Camp is going to be if you get involved. Okay, I'm doing everything that I can to make it happen. All I'm asking you to do, just pitch in a little tiny bit, $10 a month, and we can make it happen now. All right, so that link is down there in the description right there, and then I'll also go ahead and throw it in the chat, guys, so that you can become the second constitutional enforcement facilitator. And thank you very much, Anna Karina, for becoming the first one. That was about 10 days ago, and that was really awesome to find that we had one so quickly. So please get involved. All right, get involved in the defense of your Constitution, folks. All right, we'll see you next time, and God bless the Patriots. If you want to be one of those people who shows up and we're considered heroes for what we do.
Help me, my rights are being violated. Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
Is that a plane?
How many millions of dollars have we wasted on these useless politicians? And how many rights do we have to show for it?